So, hey, you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday. And God, y'all, make y'all have a great week, up and coming week, filled with blessings and good luck and, all the good things that you're wanting. So, of course, shout out to you all, honey, y'all. I've received so much feedback this past week, so much emails, so many emails. And I'm so appreciative of y'all, reaching out, getting work done, asking questions, etc. Love it. Somebody assumed that I blocked them, and I did not. I block people, don't tell people. But trust me, I tell you this, babe. If I haven't came out and read you, you're not blocked. Okay, I would block you. I probably wouldn't tell you I blocked you, but I'll come out and I'll read you down on about something that you did or why you got blocked. So no, nobody got blocked. Okay. And so I did respond back to the person and let them know that no, nobody got blocked. And of course, going into the email, they apologized. They sent a very long email. Maybe that's what they thought I was blocking them for, but I'm like, no, I did take one time to read that email because I understand people's situations are a little different. And so I want to respect people's time, people's energy. And I'm just like, girl. And so this person in particular, I understand, I understand what's going on. And so, they gave me feedback and all that good stuff. So, like I said, no. If you got blocked, you will know you got blocked. And if I don't tell you directly why you got blocked, I will come on my video, on my YouTube channel, and I'll, read you down about something that you did, okay? So know you're good. You guys, shout out those who took the demonic class yesterday. We did something called demonium. And it was a little, it was a little in depth, a little, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the angelic atonement class, but not really. We get a little more personal into energies and frequencies so you can understand a full 360 about, the spiritual realm, or at least a certain aspect of the spiritual realm. The angelology aspect of it. And of course, the angel supersedes religions and beliefs and all that good stuff, honey. These are, everyone believes in some type of angel. Every system believes in some type of angel, some type of good luck, as well as some type of demon, some type of demonic force. So, of course, it's useful for anybody, regardless of what your belief system is. So, of course, only 2 people signed up for that class, but it's okay. Like I said, we're putting things out. Whoever can sign up, they can sign up. We know that money is tight for a lot of people, and we understand that. And so the recording for the demon class will be available after this Wednesday. And of course, if you want to wait until it's actually done, uploaded to YouTube, you can reach out and say, hey, I want to sign up for that class. Or, of course, you can sign up for that class for the recording. I'll actually put that on it today, what the recording is going to be, how much the recording is going to be, and then maybe even offered in a series after this week. Now, someone did email me as well about the angelic atonement, and they were asking, is it too late? Is the window too late to join the angelic atonement? So I mentioned maybe a week ago, it's been a week now, that the angelic atonement recording is available until further notice. Same thing with the demonium. The demon class is going to be available until further notice. Of course, some of the things I offer, I do want to make them permanent. I do want to have them to where you could permanently get them, like the crystal class that we're doing, the master crystal class that we'll be doing the first week of August. We're going to go into a lot of, interesting tea. No, it's not your basic standard crystal class, but we're going to break down some key. And I think it's a very hot topic because a lot of people, like I said, we either say that crystals don't work for them, or they will be like, they'll make shit up. Like crystals are, sleeping dragons and shit. I'm just like, girl, where y'all get this shit at? What type of, where y'all get this at? What idea? What history? What, you just can't say, well, my grandfather, he thought this. Like, where did you get the information at? I would like to know. So it's like we get very much in depth with crystals. We cover some basic stuff that you can find anywhere. Then we get into some occult, ancient knowledge about crystals and why a lot of people deem them evil, demonic, nowhere in, anyway, we'll get into that, okay? Because I won't take too much time getting into that. So yes, the angelic atonement class is still available to join the recording. And like I said, it's up until further notice. It is on the blog spot. I can also post information on the community post, as well as the demonium class on the community post, as well as information on the crystal class that we'll be having the first week of August on the community post. That will also be a live class, but of course I will have, depending on how many people join, depending on how many people are interested, whether I cannot attend the live class, we will have the recording available. Last but not least, y'all, of course, oh my God. So I was supposed to be sending out Friday the last 2 to 3 parts of the um, angel atonement, right? Where we're getting into rituals, right? We're performing rituals on it. I did not send that out. I was supposed to get on here, to go into some depth about it, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of story time right now too before I go. I'm trying to actually beat this 10 o'clock sun, y'all, to walk my dogs. Because, between the hours of 10 and 3, you shouldn't be out in that motherfucking sun. Hello? You want to preserve, your skin. You want to preserve your organs, honey. When you outside in that sun between the hours of 10 and 3 or 11 and 4, baby, you're cooking yourself in the inside. And that's what, anyway, I'm not getting on that. So y'all want to beat that 10 o'clock sun. So y'all literally, I did not send that recording out, but tomorrow, I promise y'all, you're going to get 3 classes by tomorrow night for those of you who signed for the Angelic Atonement class already. And on top of you getting those 3 classes, so you will have 5 classes in total. On top of you getting those 3 classes, I'm also going to give you a little, cute little bonus tea. I try to refrain from telling people how to do their tea. I give advice, and that's what I'm doing with these newer classes. I'm not really, back in the day with the other classes, I'll be like, hey, who, and give out like extra tea, like this is the knowledgeable way of doing it, but this is how I've done it, or this is how this is how I would do it, whatever. I've done that, but now I'm like, no, I refrain from doing that. So the bonus class will include a little bit of me, advising on something that I've done. And of course to help you along. Like I said, your magic is your magic. And I like people to kind of pick up their own way of doing things magically. There's no more like, who. And a lot of times too, people feel some type of way, like not some type of way, but they'll reach out and be like, hey, did I do this right? And I don't have the time, to respond back for every little thing. Y'all, there was a class that I gave and then someone got a personal video. This was like probably right before the pandemic. Like, no, actually, no. Yeah, it was right before that. I was like, yeah, was it Jennifer? No. Their last video was sent right before the pandemic. So they took a class. It was a group thing we did. Then they wanted a personal class on how to manifest a partner. So I made them a personal class, personal rituals, okay? Personal rituals and things to do to manifest their partner, because their energies and, everyone is different. I keep telling people this. Not there's 1,000,001 love rituals. There's 1,000,001 rituals on money. There's 1,000,001 whatever, because these are people's ideas. These are what people done to make it happen. But on top of that, every situation is different. So a man finding a man, that type of ritual will be different from a woman finding a woman. And then that ritual will be different from a woman finding a man. And that ritual will be different from a man finding a woman, because the energies that's being sent out are totally different. Going into the alternative, going into the, everything is different. Okay. And so that's something you want to remember. Going into signs, going into energies, these are all different. The elements. Is this a long distance relationship? Is this, what are your resources? Are you currently able to attract? Are there obstacles? Are you a discreet, homosexual trying to find a man? Are you a discreet lesbian trying to find a man? Like, all this stuff plays a role. And so, like I said, I made a customized video, and literally, y'all, for almost a year, they were sending emails, not doing consultations, not doing any of that, but almost a year. It was like every other week. Okay, so I did my ritual and they said, did I do it right? And then, okay, so I finally manifested the guy. And it's like they were having one-sided conversations. And I was just like, I couldn't keep up. Like, you manifested this guy in 4 months. Congratulations. And then on top of that, and of course I'm not cutting in, if they come across this video, I'm not cutting in, I'm just speaking my tea. So this is, kind of going into like lifelong support and stuff. And then they just kept emailing and well, yeah, hey, so he's here, but now I'm like, I don't know what I should do about, this, that. It's just like, so before you manifested this man, you didn't know exactly what you wanted. You didn't prepare yourself for when he actually come, or you didn't fully, and maybe even going into like the shock factor. Maybe there was not, they weren't expecting this to come through and it came through, whatever. I don't know. But it's like, honey, I cannot like help you get the person and then walk you through every single thing. Now, of course, if you need that type of support, of course, that's where the consultations coming out. Of course, that's when we do one-on-ones. Of course, that's when, going into goddess intervention, all this stuff. That's where this stuff come in hand. But it's like, girl, we did a group thing. I did a customized video for you. And then literally, like I said, 1 year, it was constant emailing and well, hey, do you know, I don't know if I did this right. And then, oh, they want to go out on a date on a Friday. And I know that you said Friday. And y'all, these are like the emails. The emails are like conversations. And I'm like, yeah, usually emails are like for updates. Usually emails are for like questions about products and services. Or, hey, where did I send a payment to? But I was just like, oh yeah, this person's doing a lot. And I think I spoke about it too, back then too, like 2020, 2021. I was like, oh girl, there's a lot going on. So yes, we do offer support, but like I said, it's not like I walk you through every single thing, unless of course you're doing a consultation and or you're paying for services. That's it. Okay, bottom line. I don't have to get into all that. So either way, y'all, going into this, and of course, y'all, I've been up for about a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Sinuses are, opening up, doing a little thing. I did me a cute little, I've been doing like acupuncture and stuff on sinus points and all that, y'all. And it's really been improving, y'all. My allergies used to be bad, girl. Sinuses too, still a little there, hey, but I'm okay with it, honey. I'm not popping all these meds and stuff and girl, woo, doing a lot, what I used to do back in the day. So either way, the demonium class, like I said, that we recorded the last 3 parts of the Angelic Atonement class that will be available tomorrow night. You guys will get that. And then of course, going into this, I'm going to be offering, and I'm going to put this on a blog spot, and I'm going to put this on a community post, let's say no later than 1 p.m. today, where I'm going to be having 5 spots open, and we're going to do every spot for 100, or however that's going to work out, depends on the response we get back, whatever. So I want to do 2, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm going to get into that. I want to do 2 21 days one-on-one sessions. I want to help, mentor, advise on a personal level on, giving your life, elevating your life, helping you with your mental, just giving you that great or excellent emotional support, as well as spiritual advice and, energetic, tea. Okay. And then the other 3 spots, I want to offer 1-hour readings for only 100. So of course, y'all, there's something that I use for my in-person spiritual stuff that costs $750, and that device actually broke on Friday, and something else did too, and I'm gonna get into the story. And so of course I want to buy another one of those, and so I need $500 more. So I said, baby, let me do 2 spots of $100 or 21. And normally we don't do that, y'all. You check the blog spot out. That's called Goddess Intervention. And I need this by Tuesday, by the way, too. And so there we go. So I need it. So 2 spots, like $700. Each spot is 100. 3 people to get $100 reading for an hour, and then 2 will get a goddess. And I'm not gonna call it. I'm gonna call it something else. But 21 days of me reaching out to you at least once a week, advising. You have any questions, you can reach out to me. You'll have my phone number. You can text. I can call you. Whatever. We can work that out. If you need to meet more than, once a week, of course, every 2 or 3 days, I could check it on you. But once a week, you'll have like assignments. Like I'll put together a cute little personal plan to help you elevate. Kind of like life coaching, spiritual life coaching, right? And of course, I have the credentials to offer that service, by the way, if you ever want to see all that. Can we talk about it? Hello. We're not just offering shit because it's money, baby. We have the credentials, okay, to help elevate you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And so, of course, like I said, I need 500 by Tuesday, to get into that. The device costs 750, but of course, baby, I do save, and so I'm like, I'll take some what I already have and put into that. But baby, let's work for the 500 by Tuesday. So anyway, y'all, that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, to be on the blog spot and all that good stuff. And of course, you can always still get the angelic atonement class, the demonium recording, and of course, that can also go into that. But listen, so that piece broke, and y'all, we did some very remember I told y'all last week I had to do something that was contractual. I put stuff on hold at the beginning of last week. Y'all remember? And I was like, I got to do something, contractual. And y'all, we were doing some real heavy energy work. And let me tell you, can we talk about it? Let's tell you the power. And I'm going to share two things right now, too, by the way. We're going to take the power of protection, and we're going to tell you exactly how energy works. So, someone had an idea. One of the groups that I'm in, that I was initiated into, and of course I'm not going to discuss that because that's a personal thing for me. They wanted people to get a tattoo of them being, to have certain things put on them. Well, okay, let's get out of that. Let's get into the story of what's going on, and then I'll get into that backstory. So I do it in person. Works with someone that I am contractually, doing work with. That's what I tend to do. Versus, you call me out and then, okay, can you, send the payment over? I'll head out there. Versus all that, some people I actually, set up to where I'm like, okay, for 6 months of service, we call that retainment. Y'all don't remember? I will reiterate that. So we call that retainment. For 6 months or a year, whatever, we try not to go past that. You can send a certain amount of money up front. And if you need me at any given time, let's say emergency work, because of course in that time period you can still pay for working. That retainment is like a backup to where, let's say times get hard. Let's say you're not able to, pay for my services. You have $1,500 in retainment that was not utilized. Now you say, hey, I need you to come and blah, blah, blah. So we have that set up. And so my in-person people, I usually only work like that because sometimes, they want to give you checks. And I just know that people, when it comes to check shit, people are a little shady. I told y'all my story about the past, about one of these so-called people, which we'll say that for another time because I'm really trying to, get out. But, honey. And so either way, I have to do that contractually. That's why I say a contractual agreement. The retainment is that. And either way, we did some tea. And this was a process. This was steps, right? When it goes into like energy, if there's a lot of energy that we need to clear out or work on, I will break it down in steps. That will keep my anxiety down. That will keep your anxiety down and my anxiety down, to where you're not like, hey, we're doing this type of work, but blank, 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 blank is going on. And so either way, you guys, literally Friday, right? We did the first part at the beginning of the week. Friday, I went in and, I did my second step. Like I won't get too deep into what it is that I'm doing and how we're going about doing things. But bam. So I needed, my healing sound bowls. I got my attunement forks. We put together our little, concoctions, our little tea, right? Our little herbs, amulets, and all that good stuff to help with the energy and stuff, y'all. And so literally yesterday, which was Saturday, can we talk about it? I called to get an update, and they're like, yes, everything is clearing out. Everything is moving, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, but, we're not done. We're going to do this in so many steps. And of course, I will be there next week. And then they were like, okay, that's good, whatever. But they were like, you know what? Yeah, let's do that next week. But I do have people coming, in and blah, 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 blah. I have, visitors coming, whatever. Let's work on this. Can we do a little something today? Can we do a little something else? I'm like, yeah, sure, we can. And so literally, y'all, I get there. This is yesterday. I get there. We do our tea. I think like one of their little, we'll say one of their little amulets, like kind of like cracked. And I was like, oh, this is energy. Energy is a little thrown off. Y'all, while I'm there, while we're doing our thing, now, before, I'm touching one of my little objects that I have on me for protection. I'm touching this, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, there's something on it. Like I'm feeling like, because of course it's on my skin, and I put oils on my skin, and I put sunblock and stuff, and so those things mix in, and it, and the object that I have is stainless steel, so it's not gonna like fuck it up or anything. Y'all, literally, after I do my thing, that object that I use to, well, I use many things, but this particular object that I use for my sessions, that broke. It would not even come on anymore. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I dropped it. I don't know. Yeah, I leave up out of there. I literally come home, and I did not realize that when I got home last night, the only thing that I had on me was the chain, not my amulet. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, girl, I've had that thing on for 5 years, never took it off. 5 whole years. That bitch broke off. Now, this object was infused and charged up with a certain spirit, and this spirit is an angelic being, and that's why I get into the angelic stuff, because I tell y'all a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes. I do come and I do offer class because I know these energies work. Like going into the angelic atonement, there's angels in that class. As soon as you call on them, like they show up. It's not a year, it's not a month, it's not 90 days. You don't have to wait for a 9-day novena. You don't have to wait for none of that. You don't have to do a 11-day cleanse and then an angel say, hi, I'm here. Like, it's instantly. And so I was gagging, and that's a part of my group. And I'm also going to be reaching out too to see is everything okay, because baby, that never broke out. And I'm not saying that has something to do with the cleansing and stuff I did with this client, but it could be something with this group. And so long story short, y'all, this amulet is a sigil that is connected to some angelic beings that I was, gifted. We're going to say gifted. I was gifted to have access to these angelic beings. Okay. And long story short, they always come through. And of course, they help with a lot of things, which like I said, I'm not going to share with that on here. Now, my people, my personal people, those who support me, those who, my people. The people who support me, those two, and I know what one of you might say, what was that? I see it right now. One of you, my fellow Gemini, I could tell you in the back, the back end of what this was. But either way, y'all, it was gone. Now, mind you, this is stainless steel. The only way for you to break this thing, you would have to like really fucking cut it. You would have to, boop, boop. Y'all, this thing got caught up in shit. This shit has got, girl, I slept with this on. I don't take this off. It's never broke. And y'all, I woke up with the chain like caught up in my bra and shit. And it didn't break. All of a sudden, this piece break. I didn't hear it fall or any of that, y'all. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, stainless still breaking? After 5 years, bro? And like I said, I felt it. It was not broken. It was not loose or nothing. So I'm like, oh, how did it break? Nobody came up and touched me. Nobody pulled on my neck. Like, y'all, but like I said, when I got home, I realized that. And I'm like, fuck. And so, like I said, one of the groups that I'm initiated in, like I said, they gave me this decision and wanted us to get it like marked on us because, of course, the skin is considered the living parchment paper. And of course, this is put on parchment, it's infused, and, changes and miracles and stuff happen. So just ironically enough, I do this energetic thing. Okay, just ironically enough, I do this energetic healing for this client. And I've done work with this client before, so like that. I'm really willing to say it has nothing to do with the work that I did. I'm really willing to say that something else happened. Like I'm willing to say that. And like that, I will give y'all updates because I'm gonna reach out to my people to be like, what happened? So I just took the whole chain off. I was like, fuck it. If that piece is gone, I'm taking the whole chain off. And of course, when I took it off, I didn't feel like any energy or anything lift up. So I'm like, girl, what the fuck? And so either way, y'all, that energy work right there, my actual spiritual tool, they got damaged. And of course, one of my sound bowls also got a little damage, but it still works. So I'm like, altogether, I might just throw that out. That was $130 for just that bowl alone. So I'm like, I'm just going to throw that out because it is a little, damage, and it's a crystal quartz bowl. But I'm like, yeah, that and the other device, I would say, yeah, that probably has something to do with that energy for sure. I'm really willing to say that did. That necklace, no, because that have nothing to do with that type of work that I was doing. Yes, of course, it's protection is every day, and of course, we talk about this too. When jewelry and stuff break, typically people who are sending you items, they're sending you energy. Your jewelry and stuff will break because it catches that negative energy, right? Or whatever it is they're sending to you. That sigil, that energy is not that type of energy. That type of energy is those spirits, those energies. Even if you were to touch that necklace, right? It wouldn't do nothing to you, wouldn't do nothing to, me. It wouldn't do nothing to even the object. Like there, that's the way that spirit, those spirits move, and the one in particular that I really connect with, right? It does not, it's not going to say, oh, let's break this necklace, or somebody send this bitch energy, let's break it. Like I said, girl, there's other items that I carry on me that could have those things happen. I told y'all about Argonaut. I told y'all about other crystals like tiger eye stuff that I would have on me. And mysteriously, these crystals either disintegrated or they were gone. And literally, y'all, I told y'all a story about Denny's. I used to go to Denny's a lot, sit there and eat. I had an Argonite stone. I literally never took that stone out of my pockets or anything. I literally leave. I come back like 2 weeks later. The girl's like, hey, you came before and you left a brown stone or something. And she's like, yeah, and I actually, she didn't tell me she took it on. But she said, yeah, I actually have it. And next time I see you, I'll give it to you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bitch, if it's still lost and found, girl, why can't you get it now? Whatever, let it go. The next time I start, she's like, yeah, I couldn't find that stone. Bitch, you a motherfucker, like, you stole my shit. But then I said, John told me, like, oh, the stone was for you, babe. That's what it was for, girl. Because it was in my pocket. Like I said, I don't take my shit out. Or it was in my purse. I don't take my shit out. I don't get like $2, $3 crystals. My crystals that I get are normally like $50, $70, $100. The most money I spent for a crystal was $200. So I'm not gonna be taking my crystal out and just throwing it on the table, letting the shit get fucked up, letting you touch on the crystal sugar. We don't do that. So anyway, that's just an example of that. But like I said, that amulet, that's not how that works. So I was like, girl. And then of course last night as I'm going to sleep, I'm like doing my little thing, and I'm like, is this, if this has something to do with my gift or whatever, and it's not. So like I said, I think something is going on with this group. A lot of times people be like doing things behind the scenes. They don't really talk about it. But baby, I know my shit. A lot of times, and I'm not saying that this group is not that, because I would have never, studied underneath them to learn things about, ancient knowledge and stuff. I would never have done that. But like I said, we know that sometimes energies be off. Sometimes people feel a type of way. And of course, if you're in a group, if you have if you're under people, if there's anything going on with them spiritually, things will start to go down with you. And like I said, they gifted me this sigil. They gifted me this amulet. And they wanted people to get a tattoo. But I was like, girl, I don't do tattoos. So they had a customized, stainless steel piece made for me. And so it's like, girl. And it was even dual, y'all, for my Gemini energy. It was like one on one side, one on another side. And girl, like I say, it was the shit, girl. Girl, listen. Okay, and today we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see if the energy is still there. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna go out today and we're gonna see if I feel like people are different, or people are gonna think I'm doing things different. Like, we're gonna see it, because I'm like, girl. And right now I'm feeling for it. I'm like, I feel so naked without my shit, bro. But anyway, nothing major, nothing bad, y'all. Just those things, girl. My tools, like I said, got damaged, and I was like, let me just give y'all a backstory about, let me give you a backstory about some tea that went down energetically, and even get into, helping out my people, honey. And yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it, y'all. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna walk my dogs. I hope you guys are doing well, honey. Let me see if there's anybody up in there. I know the last time I kind of just exited, or I don't know if anybody was in here. And I was like, let me go. Let's see if anybody's in here. Y'all, hope y'all had a great weekend, like I said. And y'all, listen, okay? Angelica's Helmet Part 345 will be available tomorrow night. And Demonium recording will be available after Wednesday. And like I said, we have, we're doing the 21-day we're not gonna say goddess intervention, but kind of like that. And then we're doing three 1 hour readings for 100. And like I said, you can do that anytime. You can book it now and you can set it up for any time. And I'm gonna say this too, not past 30 days. A lot of times, oh my God, I told y'all that before too. Somebody spent money for a reading back in like 2018. They hit me up in 2020 to get that reading done. Now, mind y'all, I got proof too, by the way, y'all. If you ever want receipts, I keep all my receipts, y'all. Mama got a reading done. I asked her when she wanted to set up. I'll let you know. Okay, that's fine. Gave it like 30 days. Hit her back. When are you gonna do it? I'll let you know. Gave it 2 more months. Hit her back. Didn't get a response. I was like, okay, whatever. I even came on YouTube, y'all. That's also my fifth story group talking about it. Girl, Mama never got back to me. Finally, 2 years later, during the pandemic, she reached out to me and was like, I can still book that session. Or, can I book that session? I'm like, what session? Oh, I paid you for a reading. When? So I'm looking through and they're like, oh, 2 years ago. Well, they gave me the date and I look back and I'm 2 years. And I'm like, oh yeah, I hit you up. And I was like, I'm sorry, babe. Yeah, that money was already spent. If you want to do another reading, you got to send over another payment, honey. This is a whole nother time process, girl. Yeah, but I already paid and services was not rendered. No, you paid and services were rendered because I reached out to you. I have to keep giving you follow up. I had to keep reaching out to you. Girl, it wouldn't have took that long. It wasn't that type of reading. It was a very simple reading, girl. It was not an in-depth reading. Like, it was giving me funny business. And on top of that, you got it during a deal. That was $40. So yes, of course, okay, I could have said, girl, here's your $40 back 2 years later. But I feel like, girl, no. Yeah, services is rendered. Payments or services, you did not get the reading, but you sent over the money. And I did my due diligence to hit you up to chase you down for reading that you paid for. Baby, it's like, girl, come on now. And I remember even a couple of times too, I was clearing away shit because I told people, I said, for this whole week, I'm not going to see any clients because there's one person I want to do a reading on. And I feel like that energy, needs my undivided attention. So I'm like, girl, I put shit on hold. Like, girl, no. You waited 2 years ago. That's your problem. You didn't say retainment. You didn't say hold on to this money for me. I'm booking a reading for a future date. You didn't say none of that. So like I said, with this is different. 30 days out, you can send it over 30 days out. And that, and then, as I was saying, I'm going to continue to stay on top of this. I'm offering these services because there's an item that I need to pay for. And of course, by Tuesday, if I don't have people that pay for services to pay for that, that's fine, girl. I'll use my own money to buy it. I always say my theory is why spend mine when I can spend yours. I'm just saying that, y'all, not being in a rude way and just being real. I work hard for my money. I like to save my money. I don't like to really spend my money. And so I'm like, hey, why not spend other people's money legally? So that way, how I spend other people's money, maybe I'll offer services at a discounted rate, or we'll offer a class, whatever. You pay for that class, I'll use that money to pay for what I need to pay for. That's how we do that. Now, of course, people are going to say, well, why can't you use your regular working money to pay for that? Because I be thinking the same thing too when I hear people talk about, send me a donation, send me that. Oh, we're not asking for free money, babe. If I'm working for that money, that money is already being spent on something. I'm already saying I'm working towards this and that. When something like this happened, I'm like, girl, am I going to use a credit card? I mean, yeah, that'd be cool, but I still got to make that credit card payment. So it's like, girl, yeah, let's come out. Let's offer a little mini tea. Because maybe, hey, girl, we helping each other out. Maybe you wanted to do a goddess intervention that's normally $350 to $1,500, and you're like, I don't got that, but I have 100. Here we go. Maybe you want to do an hour reading, but you're like, damn, I don't got $250, but you're like, damn, but I really need to talk. $100. There you go. So I'm helping you out. You're helping me out. That's how we do that. But you're right. Yeah, we can definitely do casework. Yes, we can definitely say, y'all, we're doing readings right now and use the reading money to buy those items. But like I said, there's other things that we're doing as well. So no, we don't do that. Baby, instead of me saying, hey, y'all, donate, send me, baby, we're offering, I'm giving you a gift to get a gift. Ow! That's how we're doing that. You're getting a gift to get a gift. Here you go. Anyway, y'all, let's do this up in here before I go. Okay, come on here, I'm Dee Dee. How you doing, Dee Dee? Rasta, hey, late to the live. Thanks for the email. I'm just about to read it. Thanks to Tom for real. Thank you so much. And I appreciate, Rasta, the love. I appreciate the honesty. And like I said, that email, you wasn't blocked. Okay? You was never blocked. Okay? I would say this, Rasta. You've been here for a while, but I think altogether we've only had like 3 interactions. I'm very patient. I don't have Like, I don't have a short fuse. I don't snap. I don't, oh my God, they're pissing me off. It takes a lot. If y'all ever hear me come out and cussing somebody out, that's days and weeks and years of being patient. I have a lot of patience. I'm very patient. It says that love is patient and love is kind. If I love you or I like you and you are my people, and Ross, I think you're one of my people, yeah, baby, you can't quickly piss me off. You can't quickly, I hate that Rasta just, no, I don't get irked and bugged like that. Now, if something goes down and I say, hey, Rasta, that offended me, or hey, Rasta, just so you're kind of doing too much, with the blah blah blah, and then you're like, okay, and then you do it again, then I'll let you have it again, and then if you don't give a fuck, then that's when I say, fuck you, Rasta, and blah, blah. There you go. So the patience runs short, but like I said, I'm very patient with people, and so of course, you did what you did, nothing bad, just in case people are wondering. But you did what you did, and it's kind of something that I really don't do. So I was like, honey, I'll get to that. I'll get to that email. I'll get to that email, honey. Because there was a lot, like I said, there was a lot going on this week, honey. A lot. So thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for your compliment. And all that good stuff. I tell you, I take pride on knowing my shit. I'm not like these other spiritualists out here that just say things because it sounds good, or this is the money making thing, let's jump on it. I've really invested in my abilities. I knew what my abilities were. I was taught from a very young age what they were. As I got older, they became very, apparent. And I was like, I need to learn how to enrich this. So it's kind of like a doctor. It's kind of like a lawyer. It's kind of like someone who is, who's up there. There's constant, you have to re-educate yourself. You have to constantly, recertify yourself. You got to constantly go to seminars, webinars, to learn the new way of doing things. The same thing with spiritualists. You just can't say, y'all, this is my gift. I learned how to do this. I grew up on it. So this is my craft. Yeah. But just like religion doesn't change itself, but the principles never change, but the need of people do. So you have to learn, what are people in need of now? And what can I do to offer those services? And it's not something that you did 56 years ago, because these generations are different. It's not something that Meemaw and great-great-grandma taught you. The principles are the same, but the ways of doing it is not the same, baby. Okay? And that's what I learned. So I'm always, like I said, investing in and, getting into, like I said, the certification in Reiki, getting into new techniques, going into like retreats, doing little getaways, getting into initiations, getting into my rites and stuff, my shamanic rites and shamanic rites and shit, like getting into all that. Like, girl, I know about that stuff. That's a part of me. That's my bloodline. But like I said, there's levels to this. So why not learn? Because what they say, the more you know, the less you actually learn. So like I said, I invest in my craft, honey. I'm not just out here offering shit because it's money. Okay? Because there's a lot of things I could do because it's money. I come from the adult industry, baby. I can always go back. Okay, hello. Just saying. I'm just saying up there. I don't want to do this and, I really want to help people. But anyway, and as I'm talking, God, my sinuses just draining and draining. I'm like, damn. I didn't pop my little organic plant-based what they call it, botanical sinus pill last night. That's what's going on. This fan was on my face all fucking night, but I'm like, girl, it's just going and going and going. But listen, I will be back. Let's say check the blog spot. Y'all, we're doing a lot with a lot with a lot. Oh, I do want to say this too before I go. I'm trying to get people who I know, and I'm trying to even get y'all, because that's why I'm bringing it to y'all. And I'm going to give y'all an update too this week, probably tomorrow or Tuesday. But let's talk about this on something that we've talked about in the past. So, I'm trying to get my spiritual sisters, brothers, and people who are not really, they're new to the spiritual stuff in that aspect. And maybe they're not new, but maybe they just keep forgetting that spirituality, and it's called the unnatural, and then you have, or the supernatural, and you have the natural. The natural rules are different from the supernatural rules. They go hand in hand, but they're different. right? They're different. In the natural, I mean, let me give you a good example. Okay, in the natural world, you can get up and you're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to the store today. I got to go get in the store already, let you go in because you got to go in and pay for the goods. You're just going to get up, you're going to get in the store. That would be the natural law, right? You have a right to go there because, of course, they have a service that you need. The supernatural would be, okay, there's a dead tail light. I'm just going to start burning candles and petition them. No, 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 no. No, no. That's not how that works. That's not how that works, right? And like I said, that's just an example, and it may not be the best of example because, of course, I'm like, what example can I give in a short amount of time to explain what I'm going to explain, and then I'm going to get into what I'm going to get into. But the mundane, the layman's, the regular, everybody, whether you're spiritual or not spiritual, the way you operate is very different from the supernatural. Y'all, the candles are, the crystals are, the herbs are physical, tangible items, just like you, that came from the spiritual realm and didn't, right? Fell down, had some type of manifestation in this realm for you to utilize it, right? Can we talk about it? But there are still spiritual aspects to the candles, like the elements, the flames. There's still spiritual aspects to the herbs. There's still spiritual aspect to the crystals, right? So they have dual meaning, just like a lot of things we have in this world. Everything that we see, everything that we have is a dual. Your car is a dual. It's a physical and it's a spiritual. Your phone is a physical, it's a spiritual. Your TV, like everything we operate on, everything that we have, because we're spiritual beings having human experiences, it operates in the spiritual and it operates in the physical, right? And so either way, when you buy a candle, y'all, yes, the physical rules is the candle probably didn't burn because it was dropped, because the wick wasn't cut, because the wick was cut too short, because there was too much wax, maybe you put too much holes in it. Yeah, the spiritual reason is maybe the candle seller froze the candles, maybe they had water in it, maybe it was water damage and they hurried up and tried to wipe it out. Those are the physical things. Maybe even it, like I said, something happened during production, it got damaged. The spiritual aspect of that, so those are reasons why the candle is not lighting, it's not working. Those are the physical reasons. The physical reasons of why they're not working. The metaphysical reason, or the spiritual reason why it's not working, is spirit is trying to tell you something. Because something told you consciously, spiritually, especially if it was the only one or if there was multiple and you grabbed that one in particular. The spirit, something told you to get that and spirit responded to you. Because you didn't ask spirit consciously. You didn't say, spirit, can I buy this yellow candle to work it to get what I need? No, you said, I want to work this candle, and spirit gave you the answer. You didn't ask, but spirit gave you the answer. Spirit said, yeah, right now, this candle's not going to work for you because you don't need to do this working. So yes, you grabbed the wrong candle. Or right now, you trying to light this candle, it's not meant for you to light it. So yes, the candle ain't going to hold its flame. Or yes, the person, whatever. But there's a spiritual reason why you picked that candle, and that's what your answer is. Like I said, I know people, they buy candles and they're like, I'm never going to buy candles from this botanical again. I'm never going to buy candles from the store again because the candles does not light. And it's like, but spiritually speaking, you're not lighting these candles to make your room smell good. You're lighting these candles because there's a spiritual purpose behind these candles. That's your intention. So if you're burning these candles and they're not burning properly, that is spirit telling you something. That is spiritual messages. Like there's no way around that. But I don't understand that. Well, yeah, because so you're operating from you're trying to do spiritual work, but you're still stuck in your physical body. You're still stuck in the physical way of understanding things, and that's why a lot of people don't manifest. And I was telling people that a lot of people do not manifest spiritually because they cannot grasp the unseen. They cannot grasp how energy means things. They cannot grasp how their words will become something. And this is why they speak to themselves a certain way. And even going into people, because this goes hand in hand. People will, because I've said this before. I've been called this, and I still love them. Don't misconstrue this or think I'm saying anything else. I've been called by some of my spiritual sisters and brothers, a tough lover. I'm not really a people person because I'm so direct. And when it comes to certain people, I don't fuck with certain people. And I'm like, no, baby, it's called being weak and it's called being strong. It's called being healed and it's called still trying to find your healing. When you are trying to find your healing, like the people who are still thinking about spirituality from a mundane way are usually the people that are still stuck in their physical body, their physical experiences, which means that they're not understanding that you're not able to manifest spiritually because you're heavy in the physical. And if you want to know what I mean by that, is you are burdened with so much issues in your physical life. You have trauma from your childhood, you have trauma from your adulthood, your young adulthood, whatever, that you're still holding on to. You cannot uplift that energy. And so now when you're trying to manifest spiritually, which is energetically, all that other shit is protecting you. It's a cushion. It's a layer to where you cannot get your blessing. And like I said, the same people who have the mentality of the physical stuff with candles, it dawned on me that these are the same ones that are people pleasers. These are the same ones that will try to bend over. Oh, I want a relationship with my dad. I want a relationship with my mom. But your mom and dad don't want one with you. And you have to understand that that is okay. You keep it pushing. Yes, it might hurt. And I'm telling you all this right now from experience. Honey, I went to therapy. I went to counseling. I was a psychiatrist. Baby, it was very emotional for me to let go of people that I love, people that I grew up with. You don't understand that. And maybe you do. I don't know. But people that you grew up with, people that were your first friends, people that knew your secrets, people that it was you and them and only you and them. Y'all spent the night at each other's house. Y'all grew up in the same household. It was hard for me to understand that because I'm grown, that we separated, that we grew apart, that I grew up into liking what I like, they grew up to liking what they like, and it was not compatible. It was hard for me to understand how can I be friends with somebody for 10 years and then I thought I knew them, but I really didn't. It was hard for me, y'all, and I was blaming myself. And so I'm telling you from a healthy perspective, I'm telling you from a spiritual perspective, I'm telling you for somebody who wants to have, if you want to have a good life, if you want to feel fulfilled, if you want to have a peace of mind, if you want to be able to sleep at night, if you want to be able to sleep at night with no type of extra tea, you don't need wine to relax, you don't need sleeping pills. If you want to be able to sleep at night and be energetic naturally, you don't got to pop pills and none of that to be energetic. You have to get rid of trauma and things that are blocking you. And you got to also get rid of trying to make people like you who don't like you because your actions speak louder than words. And of course, I'm not talking about people business. I'm just saying, I learned like my siblings, they would step in if I needed them. If something really, really, really go down, they would be there. A good example, one of my older brothers, you know, we had a lot of clash. We had a lot of issues with each other. Even growing up, y'all, we didn't get along like that. And when something happened with a roommate that I had, my brother and his friend showed up. And girl was like, you know, some dead presidents type of shit to get the motherfucker out of my house because he wouldn't leave. So they showed up. So shit like that. But personally, we still had our tea. Personally, we still had our back and forthness. And even now, as adults, we're still kind of competing with who's the better child. And we're not competing. I'm not competing, but they are. So I understand at this point, we're not compatible. Yeah, we're siblings and we will love each other regardless. If something happened to one another, you know, we'll be there for each other's family. We'll be there for each other, friends. We'll be there to offer support. Yeah, even when my sister passed away, this brother was the one that consoled me. And it blew my mind because I didn't expect that. But like I said, in our waking state, and I understand, we're not compatible. We don't like the same things. So I don't expect my brothers to be like, let's hang out. Hey, you want to come up here? Let's hang out. I don't expect that. Same thing with me. Like I said, we don't like the same shit. We don't like the same music. We don't like the same type of people. So we're going to look awkward being around each other. And so going into that, there's people I know, to me, it's like they're people pleasing. To me, the brothers, the sisters, the aunties, the uncles are saying like, bitch, we don't really fuck with you. Like you're whatever, we're whatever. We're not compatible. And that's okay. But this person cannot get past it. And I know they cannot. So they're always trying to like work it out but I got to work it out. No, babe, it's too late. I always say this and I have a firm belief in this. If you are not close as a kid, you're not going to be close as an adult. And if you are going to become close as an adult, baby, maybe you guys work through your trauma. Maybe you guys work through your issues. I don't know. But I know that everything's about compatibility. So it's like, if this person keeps showing you, your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, they're showing you that they don't really care. You're going above and beyond. You're the one to have to initiate the conversation. You don't want to have to figure out, hey, let's meet up. You have to do this all the time. Then that's a cue to you that they don't want you. Girl, they don't want to be around you. Not saying they don't love you, but they're saying, girl, you do your own thing, I do my own thing. But like I said, we have this idea, and that was me as well. Because I would see people when I was younger, like 18, 19, even like into my 20s. That's when, once again, that's what made me start seeing the therapy. And even going into me offering and saying to my siblings, we should all come together. We should work with whatever we're dealing with, person, whatever that is, because I don't know what it is. We didn't grow up in a broken household. My mom would always say, y'all need to get along. Y'all need to get together. But something about our spirits and personalities just never got along. Like we were cordial with each other, but we still got into sibling fight. And that's just how it's always been. And so when I see other people that are so close with their siblings, I used to be like, damn, I want that. I wish I had that. I wish I had that too. I wish that every weekend. And like I have to let that go because that's not everybody's story. And then a lot of these people, they're sick. A lot of these people are trying to make their relationships last. They have issues with their brothers and sisters. They have issues with their parents and they're not compatible energetically. And they force themselves to work it out. And guess what? They end up sick. They end up broken. They end up they end up being diagnosed with cancer or anything else that's fucked up because they're forcing themselves to be in energy. They're forcing themselves to be around people that don't really fuck with them. They don't really fuck with them. And like I said, that is okay. People don't have to fuck with us. Our family, our friends, our mothers and fathers don't have to like us. Our brothers and sisters don't have to like us. Our husband and wife don't have to like us. You have to understand that. Nobody has to like you and you don't have to like nobody. See, we're caught up in that illusion because that's what they tell you. Oh, it's fucked up. You gotta love your kid. Oh, it's fucked up. You gotta love your brother. Oh, it's fucked up. You gotta love your sister. Oh, it's fucked up. No, baby. If that means taking away your peace, if that means taking away your sanity, if that means taking away your everyday trying to live your life to the fullest, baby, you don't need that. This is your life. This is your life. And like I said, you're trying to, oh, I wish my sibling, my friend, my cousin, my wife, my husband, his family is so close. I wish my family was close too. That doesn't work out, especially when you're part of the LGBT community. Especially if you go against your family rules. Especially if your parents raised you to only date white and you date a black person. Oh, baby, your family more than likely ain't gonna be around y'all. Stop trying to force people to like y'all. Stop trying to force people to like y'all. If they are in their ways, let them be. And that's what I said. I do understand because I'm on the other side now. I'm on my healing journey. I'm from, I think there's from a healing perspective now. So I understand now that people do not have to. People do not. You meet people where they're at. If they're not fucking with you, understand that. Like I said, it's emotional. Yes, it is. You cry. You have a eulogy for them. Girl, I had a funeral for everybody that I know. I already had a eulogy for everybody I know in my head. I wrote them letters. I wrote out their obituary. This person was a good person, a good mother, a good father, a good cousin, a good sister to me. I wrote all that out, y'all, years ago. I sure did. Baby. And that's what you have to do. It's sad. Like I said, it is sad. But do you really want to spend your whole life trying to chase the love of your mom, the love of your dad? Do you really want to spend your whole life trying to chase the love of your brother, the love of your sister? Like you're missing out on good things. You're missing out on blessings. And they say your family is all you got. No, baby. Yeah, your family is all you got. You're right. Your family is all you got. But family could be friends too. What separate, there's relatives and there's family. Yeah, blood makes us relatives. But what makes you family is people who vibe like you, people who are a part of your same energetic vibration. And you don't have to like what each other like, but they still want to come out and see you and check on you. Like I said, baby, I wish I would be 36 years old and even at 36. So imagine if you're older than that and you're still trying to chase a girl. Yeah, you need help. You need some type of therapy session. You need to really invest in that. And I'm not saying that you need to, but for your evolving, for you manifesting what you're really wanting in life and to be happy and content with that, you need to go get help for that. Because like I said, 36 years old, baby, I understand. Baby, I understand that at 25. I understand that at 27. I understand that at 30. Like, baby, and nobody has to like you. Oh, but we're relatives. Who gives a fuck? You're relatives. Who cares? So your relatives, you got to be, you don't like pork, but you got to be around people that like pork because they're your relatives. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. If they don't like you, they don't like you. Oh, well, they do like, well, I'm not saying they don't like, but I'm just saying, if you are the ones that are always reaching out, You're the one that's always been in backwards. You are trying to buy. You're buying your friendships. You're buying your relationships. And that's not good, baby. And I would say that to all my friends. Baby, you don't got to buy my friendship. You don't got to do anything for me monetarily. I'm grown. You don't have to buy my friendship. You don't have to do these things. You don't have to, baby, just be my friend. Be there energetically. Show me that you love and support me. That's all I care about. And that's how it should be. But like I said, this whole, I gotta show, oh, I'm so distant. Girl, that's how it is. Especially like I said, you LGBT or you're anything else. Your family raised you to be something. You're not that. You are gonna be the black sheep. You are gonna be the one that they're not really gonna care for, and that's okay. But stop forcing these people to like you because one day, and this is one day, you're gonna that harsh reality is gonna hit you. You're gonna be in denial for so long. It's gonna hit you and it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck you up. When I say it's gonna fuck you up, I don't know if it's either gonna be this person who you, oh, well, I have to get along with them because this is my sister. I don't know if it's gonna be that they're gonna read you the fuck out, they're gonna fuck you up, like really fuck you up, almost take your life. Like it's gonna be something that's gonna get you together though. Like, girl, believe the energy that people present to you. There's no way around it. Yeah, but we wasn't raised that way. I said the same thing. I said the same thing, honey. We were not raised that way neither. But just like anything, your parents do not own you. I'm sure there's things your parents wanted you to be and become and you didn't become. So the same thing with your siblings. Maybe they felt like they had to be around you because they're like, well, I want to make sure my mom and dad is happy. I don't want to fuck them up. But now that you're grown, they're like, bitch, I don't got to deal with her. And like I said, that's okay. So it's like right then and there, love yourself harder. Love yourself a little more. Be content. Understand that nobody has to like you. Understand that. Nobody has to like you. I'm going to say that again. Nobody has to like you. But you know who does have to like you is yourself. Because, of course, how people treat you and you really put all your trust and faith into other people, that's how you're going to start to treat yourself. So that's why you got to really put yourself first and know that, baby, what you're wanting in life is what you're wanting in life. You got to do things for you. Now, I'm going to do this to make my parents proud. I'm going to do this to make my girl, what? You have to do this for you. I'm going to do this because my siblings and brothers and sisters will like me more. They'll see that I'm just like them. Girl, they don't see it for you, mama. They don't see it for you, papa. I'm sorry. They don't see it for you. They don't see it for you. You got to stop really trying to please people. You got to stop trying to be like the equal and shit, girl. Be you. Love you. Fuck what other people think about you. Who cares? Who cares? And that's what comes down for me. So like I said, I've noticed that when it comes to the spiritual stuff, people who are still stuck on the physical stuff and they yet cannot grasp how spirit works, it's like a trickling effect. It's like they're the same ones that do not understand that their energy is valuable. And it is. Your energy is worth more than gold. Your energy is worth more than any amount of money that's on this plane right now. Regardless of what a billionaire has, regardless of how rich Oprah is, regardless of how rich Nakataki is, regardless of how rich these people are, your soul is worth more than that. So you have to understand, I need to invest in this. I need to support this. I need to preserve this. And it's very sad. Like I said, I've seen it. I could have been one of those people as well. Lost myself and all that. Like, I want to please my family. I was even talking to a guy a couple of weeks ago, and we still kind of talk every now and then because we're part of the same little, there's a public group that I'm in, and we're part of that. But they're like a DO gay guy. They only like men. They've only liked men their whole life. But when they're around their family, they put on this facade like they're heterosexual. And they were talking about how they're starting to have nightmares. And I told them it's eating you up. It's eating you up. You don't want to offend your mom and your dad. You're like, well, but they love me. Listen, if they truly love you, when you come out that closet, they're going to still love you. If you come out that closet and like, oh no, honey, you're not my son, baby. They never, and that's okay. That's okay. It is okay. It is okay for people not to like you. Like I said, we got to get past this hive mind bullshit. Oh no, baby, you gotta stay there. If that man cheat on you, you gotta work it out. If that man don't want to be with you, you gotta work it out. If that man not give you no dick, you gotta work it out. But girl, what? That's that slave mentality, babe. Oh, it's okay. Your mom and dad don't have to accept you, but you still gonna love them. So if you go to their house, you better dress like a man. When you're around them, you gotta be okay with them calling you he and him because they gave birth to you. The fuck? Excuse me? The fuck? Bitch, no the fuck you don't. Oh, well, they had you, so they, no, bitch, fuck you and fuck them. And honey, if you want to talk about it, and a lot of parents, they cannot accept their child, and of course, I'll be done, but a lot of parents cannot accept their gay child or their bi child because they're not accepted. They're spewing onto you what their parents spewed onto them. They didn't feel loved, they didn't feel accepted, they didn't feel respected by their parents. And so they're giving you the exact same energy. And that's what that is. Oh, it took me a time to work this out. Why would it take you time? And that's what I be thinking too. As a side note, people will support their gangbanging ass sons. People will support their prostituting ass, hoish ass daughters. Daughters having multiple men getting pregnant by them but not married to none of them. They will support their gang and banging ass son. And on top of that, criminal minded ass son. On top of that, this could be a son that have multiple baby mamas and then marry none of them. They will support that. They won't tell their son, you better get it together, I'm disowning you. You better marry your wife or I'm disowning you. Son, you better, girl, what? You better take care of your kids, I'm disowning you. They don't give them that type of ultimatum. But baby, let you come out as being lesbian, gay, trans, or bi. Oh, my son ain't gonna be gay. Oh, my son ain't gonna be, like, girl, what? So the only fear that you have as your son, daughter, whatever being gay is probably the AIDS pandemic. Probably. Probably. You're not concerned about your son who has multiple baby mamas catching the same thing, let alone having a baby mama that want to come over and take your son's life because she's not being there for her kids. Can we talk about it? Or how about your gangbanging son that's out in these streets, running these streets, and he could lose his life at any given time? You're not concerned about that? You want to hold on to that though. But you're concerned about your son or daughter, and my personal opinion on that too, what I be thinking, and I'll be done, is honey, when a parent be really so invested in their grown ass son or daughter and who they fuck on, and they're just like, yeah, honey, I don't like the fact that you like to fuck on man because that's what it come down to. It be giving like they be having secrets. That's what it be giving me, honey. I don't want my son or daughter to be gay, but why though? Well, I'm in fear of them. So you're not in fear of your straight son? I'm confused. We should all be concerned about everybody's safety. So it's kind of like, baby, what are your secrets? Are you a little homosexual and you're okay that you're worrying that this homosexuality came back and bit you? Like, what's going on? So anyway, y'all, that's it, honey. I'm done, honey. Love and light, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. Okay, come on in here, Rasta. It's so genuine. Come on in here, Rasta. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Yes, more about me growing and bettering, listening and responding like you just explained. Yes. And honestly, can we talk about it? Can we talk about it, Rasta? They said that life is a lesson. And it's about learning something, right? We're in school. Life is a school. And when we die, we graduate. That's what they say. This is the old saying. When you're in school and you're studying, you listen, you observe, then you ask your questions, right? Why doesn't everybody have that same philosophy about everything in life? Like, you go through things to learn things. You hear about things. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand. Like, people have talked about stuff that I've listened to where I'm like, but how does this apply to me? Why am I talking to this woman about her son that has nothing to do with me? I don't even know this lady. Why is she sitting there telling me her life story? But I still listen because I'm like, I feel like there's a reason why she's talking to me about her childhood or about her son, whatever. And that's what it comes down to. So it's like, honey, yeah, listening, learning, that's how you become successful, happy, and whatever. You listen and you learn. Honey, let's talk about it. Cat Williams is one person that mentioned that. He said that he is successful at what he does because he listens and he learns. Here we talk about it. He listens and he learns. That's the only way you're gonna become something. Listen and you learn, but you don't know everything. Okay? Listen and you learn. Okay? Observe. See what's going on. Ask questions if you need to. And of course, in the end, this helps your life to become better. That's what I said I will continue to say. And I'm gonna be done. If I truly felt that white people was better than me, if I truly felt that straight people was better than me, if I truly felt that married people were better than me, if I truly felt that anybody was better than me or they have more freedom than I have, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch. Well, how does they do it? Why they don't struggle like I struggle? Why they don't have the issues that I have? Why can they walk into a place and get respect and I don't? And that's what I learned. I watch and I said, oh, this is how they do. Let me start doing that too. And I notice I get the same privilege. So that's what it comes down to. It's like, yeah, baby, you really feel like people are whatever, they're better than you or whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to isolate myself from them. You shouldn't isolate yourself from them. You should actually want to be around them. Hey, hey, I got this straight friend. I want to learn how he was able to get this job or whatever. Hey, I have this white friend and I feel like white people have privilege. Let me figure out how they have this privilege. Let me become a friend with one. Let me befriend one and figure out how they do, how they live it. Oh, white people live longer than black people. Let me figure out what they do. Like, girl, these are just things in my mind that I'm thinking about, like randomly. And of course, that doesn't apply to me, but I'm just saying, I'm thinking about it. Like, why would you, if you really think that somebody's better than you or somebody has more access than you do, why not sit down and study them? Why not imitate them? Why not figure out what they're doing and be just like them? I was watching something the other day, and I'm really going to be done because I'm actually putting on my clothes now. Where a black man said that polygamy is black and monogamy is white, and that the white man is monogamous and blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking to myself, like, so you're telling me that ancient Africans was polygamous, and you're telling me that in modern day African American culture, this is why there's a lot of single moms? Because the man think that, because polygamy and just having multiple sex partners is two different things. You're still taking care of your kids in polygamy. You're all your wives and stuff living in the house and y'all raising your kids together. Multiple baby mamas, babe, that's not it. That's not the same thing, babe. That's not the same thing. And there are white men that have multiple baby mamas too, so don't get that twisted either. But I was thinking to myself, like, why do people try to justify their stupidity? Why do people, instead of saying, I come from a household that was broken, so I do not know what it's like for a man and woman to be together healthy. I don't know what a healthy relationship looks like other than mama being here, daddy being there. They want to say, well, it's in our genes to be polygamous. So that's why we have multiple baby mamas and shit. Like, girl, what? Then why you didn't marry none of them? Why are all you not dating? Like, why are y'all, like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, once again, why do people they use their stupidity and they come up with stories to justify their stupidity? Like, what makes sense to me is I would like to be in a polygamous relationship, but it's not working out. So you have multiple sexual partners with women, but you're not creating babies. That whole creating babies with multiple women you're not married to, and none of y'all, like, girl, that's a whole nother story. Like, that takes some deep ass, like, girl, I'm gonna leave it there. That speaks volumes about who you are. Who you have a baby with, and how many of them you have with them speaks about you. It speaks a lot about you and how you feel about yourself. It speaks a lot about you and how you know yourself. Can we talk about it? It speaks a lot about you. Don't be reading people down and oh, they need to do, girl, bye. Because I get into a lot with that. I get into a lot of stories with that. Honey, your relationship, like I said, your baby daddies, your baby mamas, that speaks a lot about you. And it tells you a lot about who you are because it takes two to tango. So this whole thing about he's the worthless piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Well, you must have thought of yourself as the worthless piece of shit because that's why you let him fuck you and create a baby with you. Girl, you didn't know the energy? The energy didn't feel off? Girl, y'all, can we talk about it? Y'all know what everything else is off. Oh, something so funny. I wear Vera vibes. Oh, I'm so intuitive. Right. You're so intuitive, huh? Yeah, I believe it. But how did you have a baby with that low life? How did you have multiple babies with that low life? How do you have multiple children by many low lives? Not just one, not just two, but how do you have multiple babies by multiple low lives? This speak about you. So you're really the low life. You really are the low life, honey. Yeah, they are too, but they're adding on to you. So it takes two low lives to make that type of situation. Just like I said, it takes two to tango. It takes two lives to create a bummy ass reality. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? And I'm not taking it back. I'm gonna take it back. It takes two bums to create a bum reality. And of course, some people are going to say, well, you don't understand that because you never gave a man a baby. The fuck out of here. Honey, just because you can don't mean you should. A lot of you give man babies and you shouldn't be having kids, honey, in my honest opinion. There's no way that I'm still trying to find out who I am and I'm going to get with a man and create another life. And that's just me personally. And whoever felt some type of way about that, bitch, feel it. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, bye. Anywho, I'm done, you guys. Hope you guys have a good day. I am about to go walk my babies, do my little thing, and yeah. Okay. And so it was good chatting with you. I'm Dee Dee and Rasta. Hope you guys are doing well. And also, Rasta, congratulations on your little situation. Congratulations on that. We always get what we want. Okay? We always get what we want, baby. Remember that. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. All you got to do is believe. And do. Ah. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And do. Ha. E. Come on, Rasta. Hey. 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 Bye, y'all. Love and light. Come on. Oh my God, Rasta. Oh my God. I'm dying right now. I got L's now. Come on. You got license now. Come on, Rasta. You doing it up, Rasta. Damn. That is crazy, Rasta. I'm hoping that one day, maybe Rasta, you can call in. We'll do a little thing. You can call in and give some testimonies if you want to, if you feel like it. You can call on in and give some testimonies if you're feeling like it. You don't have to go in too much debt. It's too much. I'm sorry, too much. You don't have to go in debt with your tea, but come on in here and share with us. Share with us some peas. Tell the children, what was, just a little bit where you were at 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, and where you at now. Because baby, it seems like there's a whole 360 taking place, Rasta. Yes, honey. Anyway, y'all, let me go. Oh my God, y'all. We were here for a while, huh? It's crazy how just talking just take you somewhere else, honey. It just takes you somewhere else, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Let me turn off this TV, honey. You go walk my babies. Hey, Google, play Paul Hardcastle. And anyway, y'all, love and light, you okay? It was a positive meaning to the abbreviation. Well, I know. Okay. You got your L's. Okay, you're not talking about license. You're not talking about license, or you? Are you saying lessons? You got your lessons? Is that what you saying? Not license, right? L lessons? Is that what you're saying? Lessons? You got your lessons? Ew. Anyway, y'all. Love and light. Talk to y'all soon, okay? Bye for now. Yeah.